Hello and welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be continuing our Crusader Kings 3 run, playing as Overlord Ares. This is in the Princes of Darkness mod, where you can play as all manner of Gothic kind of creatures, werewolves, vampires, fairies, oh my. In our instance, we are playing as a demon, who is kind of manifested as Ares and revealed himself to humanity, and humanity in exchange is worshipping him. That's how we're getting our powers, in the form of resolve and other stuff, and this is kind of what's going on. Last episode, we kind of finished consolidating, taking largely from some vampires and werewolves, Greece, and this episode, I think what we're going to be focused on is various kind of acquisitions of trying to start to focus a little bit more on special items and trying to get them. In particular, we're going to be starting out with Heist. Heist for Camilla's Laurel Crown, and the main reason for this is Camilla is responsible for the fall of Carthage, and hence he is our absolute enemy. He's also probably the most powerful vampire in terms of the lore, and so just kind of to quickly go through it, he's let's see, where's the important part where they say how he destroyed Carthage. Bro, it's not okay. Yeah, there we go. It is also his command that took down the city of Carthage, earning him the enmity of Bruja, which is a different clan of vampire. He's a Ventru. That's his vampire clan. But it is for this that we hate him, and we will take his crown before we take his life. Of course, we're not going to be probably taking his life this episode, but hopefully we'll be taking his crown. So we just got ready for the heist. The heist is ready, and I just realized this might be a little bit of a dangerous option for us because we have 51 prowess, pretty good. But King Camilla has one of the highest prowesses in this mod, which is 66. So hopefully, at the end of all this, we don't have to fight them. Yeah, we will enter in a journey, and I think that we will modify this journey a little bit. I mean, there's not really too much that we want to get on the return trip. I think on the return trip, we will pay some homage to Carthage, and so we won't need this. We'll just use the experienced captains, which will be fine enough. We'll do a little bit of a customized route after the end. If we survive, we will come through and visit both Carthage and Sardinia, and then be kind of on our way. But I think this is good. I think we will start traveling. It will require finesse. It'll require a clandestine mission. We are cleaning up the borders a little bit here, but this is fine enough. A war, of course we join these. Obviously, we take those, but hopefully we don't have to fight Camilla at the end, because we can't fight him yet. But eventually, we do want to murder him in cold blood. Alright, it's time to start infiltrating. We will start the infiltration mission. Our objective will be a locked vault. You have to find the key during infiltration. Oh man. What is this? This is not what we were suspecting. We, unfortunately, do not have too much of a conspiracy. This is where you can enter and leave. Once you have achieved the infiltration, you'll have to return here. Okay, so we will have to do a little bit of a subtle approach. Spend some infamy, or do one of these. Okay. You are at an exit. You are an exit. Okay. Well, which one's going to give us the most options? I think the stewardship's going to give us the most options here, right? And that does seem to be the most successful, so we will do this one, and we will reveal to ourselves a lot of other stewardship kind of objectives here. This is not ideal. Our learning is pretty good, so I think that the learning will generally be easier for us. So, like, we can open our character sheet here. We have a pretty high learning. We just picked up Poet on the way here, which gives us a little bit more diplomacy or a lot of diplomacy, because it's diplomacy per fame, so that's kind of pretty nice here. It's giving us +4, but that was a little bit of an aside. Okay, well, I assume we'll do this. Hopefully our suspicion doesn't rise too much. Okay, yeah, I mean, this seems to be the best. We really would like to get martial ones. Now, we are wounded, but fortunately we have demonic powers, so we can just regenerate, which, you know, obviously is simpler. This will... Opportunity to impress. Some courtiers are some famous courtiers. You could gain prestige by talking about your own accomplishments, but doing so will raise suspicion. That's kind of funny. Okay, a hidden passageway. When you enter, nothing happens. You can pass zero fear. Okay. I mean, I think we are supposed to do that then. Yeah? And then here we have a bit of an option. We could either get the key to the vault, which will raise suspicion. You'll be able to unlock the vault. And this is a priceless treasure. You'll find the artifact came to steal. 0 out of 1 keys required. Okay, so we will grab the key. Let us pray. In court, I'm infiltrating apparently a theological mood. Tommaso is giving a lengthy sermon about the intricacies of the faith. Everyone seems to be gathered here, at least for the start of the sermon, which means I can't try and sneak away without looking suspicious. Well, time to try and stay and listen. We can gain some stress, and it is because 25% suspicion has been reached, and this will raise. I think we'll just gain the stress because that'll raise the penalty, and here we will be able to come in. Suspicion will rise by 25 because of course we're stealing it. I think that we will try not to rise the suspicious anymore. We have stolen his crown. It is now our crown. Surely this is not some sort of metaphor for when we will be stealing his other crown later. That is of course his head. But we will now, I think, just sneak our way out. If we can, without getting discovered. Bribes may be necessary, and then we will exit. We will just toot it and boot it. Another notch on my belt. King Camilla gets wary of intruders. Next stuff will start with 20 suspicion. We gain ownership over his crown. We get 2 infiltration missions. We will gain infiltrator experience. Ooh, that's kind of nice. And we lose some stuff, but that's fine. That's fine. Another notch in our belt. Another notch in our belt, and another cap on our head. It's a feather in our cap, it's a cap for our feather, you know what I mean? And so we will equip that, and that will give us prestige. But more than prestige, it's giving us the satisfaction of snubbing Camilla. This is truly what we want to be able to do, more than anything else. And tip the host. Tip to the host. The afternoon advancing nightfall as we enter our local farm estates of Paolo. The estate owner, Honoria, greets us warmly and promises a lavish feast. Once the feast starts, we dine on a menagerie of stuff, and then in the morning, Honoria and I start exchanging breakfast. My lord, hosting such an extravagant shindig as this can be expensive. And this is, of course, Camilla. We pay to Camilla. I don't think so. You should pay me for coming and visiting your, idiot estate, Camilla. You big dum-dum face. We took your crown, and now we'll take your gold. Smell you later. We don't mind the rivalry with you. Alright, well, you guys can make amends because we want Diplo experience, and we will also see what Carthage has for us here. We'll first go through Sardinia, do a sort of thing. We'll win the fight. Do we care about this person? We don't appear to, so we'll show her what's up. And then we will lift the wagon, and then we will know the cure. And then we have Carthage, Dream and Nightmare. The Brujas still draw inspiration from legends of the great scholars and philosophers that flourished in Carthage, a culture where kindred and kind, those are the vampires, were closer to one another than any other time before. Indeed, some Bruja, actually I think kind might be humans, and a few others remember Carthage as the third city, the spiritual and political heir to the first and second cities. This is part of the vampire mythology. However, other darker tales speak of a degenerate blood cult under none other than Troili, an antediluvian ancestor of the Bruja. Antediluvians are very, very ancient vampires. I believe it's 4th generation, where every single clan came down from an antediluvian, and it is named after the original antediluvians, or generally, I think, for most of them. And so there's only 12 4th generation vampires, and I think there's the first one was Cain. Maybe it's 3rd generation vampires. I think there's 3 2nd generation vampires, so maybe it's 3rd generation ones are the antediluvians. I cannot quite recall, but including infant sacrifices, awkward. 2 infernal powers and a collusion between Troili and Bali, Methuselah, Moloch. Methuselahs, I believe, are 4th generation and antediluvians 3rd. Maybe that's it. The Ventru of Rome were once fierce rivals of their Bruges cousins in Carthage. As Moloch drew Troy into a desensitization and degeneration, news of the endemic corruption among the Carthaginian bourgeois spread to Roman clans like Camilla. Spread to Roman clans. The Malkavian Cyrus Typhosia gave guidance to Roman Prince Camilla, directing him to act against Carthage. And the Carthage Toreador Helena betrayed her city to other Romans. Terrible. Though the Toreador antediluvian Artemis, Othira, Lysander, and the Prince of Alcaeus had and Prince Alcus an alliance formed against the bourgeois of Carthage. Under the leadership of the Roman Ventru, the alliance encompassed the Malkavians, Toreador, Lysombra, and their allies. As the Third Punic War raised Carthage in 146 BCE, the collective forces of the Roman Cainite alliance defeated Carthage bourgeois and Bali masters. In the end, Troili and the Molochs were driven into torpor, entwined in eternal lovers' embrace beneath the salted fields of Carthage. Truly, it is a sleeping nightmare. Terrible. So I think we're going to start dabbling with the Umbra here, which is the spirit world. Not sure of all the mechanics. It wasn't very fleshed out when we first saw it, but we see we can appoint an Umbra advisor, which is going to give, various modifiers to spirit animals, but also going to give monthly Umbra exploration progress, which I think will be good for us. We do see that we have someone who's pretty good at it, and so we're going to appoint her, at least for now. We might change things out later. We're kind of cruising through, looking at some of the aptitudes, and if we can appoint anyone to particular spots, that is just absolutely outstanding. We do have that guy, this gentleman. We recruited him to our court. He is our currently antiquarian. I think if we didn't have him as antiquarian, he'd probably leave because he doesn't like us very much, because the truth hurts, because people don't like demons, but like that's a them problem. And we're just cruising through and looking and seeing if there's anyone that we can in particular use. We did just invite Galetta, the Marbled Beauty, who we're kind of expecting to see leave, but she is immortal and can have kids, and so would love to have a way to get her to stay. I suppose we could. Can we make her a concubine? Well, she is immortal. Alright, well I guess this works, doesn't it, huh? So, I was thinking we couldn't make the supernatural creatures our concubines, but she is a mummy, which apparently is good enough. She also is going to have a pretty high prowess here, and I think with that character interaction, we'll be able to, keep her around, because everyone knows you love being concubine of the god of war, who's probably a little wrathful and sadistic and stuff. Alright, so we're kind of messing around with some of the stuff regarding Umbras. Here we're looking at the local Umbra in our capital, and we have clicked Calm Wraiths interaction, which we're not really sure what this does, but we're commanding them to kneel, which will give the Hierarchy, Renegade, and all this modifiers. I'm not sure exactly what this means, but can we calm them again? Okay, we can make them happy. We can just keep spending. Alright. Calm yourselves, guys, and they'll be grateful. Now, I don't know what this Hierarchy Ruler, Renegade Ruler, I don't know what this means for us in terms of anything, but is it just modifiers? I believe that you have the ability to enter the Shadow Realm. I think that we do not have any sort of magical ability currently that allows us to do this, and so we're currently locked out of this. It would be like if we had some sort of shadow entry in Arcana, which I didn't really see in terms of being able to do this, but I believe we can acquire other sorts of magics, like for example sorcery maybe is a way in. We see like spirit chasing, the seek aids of spirit. Well, we are already seeking aid to the spirits. I'm not really sure. We're gonna keep an eye out for some more of that stuff. We also got a new Legends seed that we can kind of encourage if we wanted, which is the most devout of Overlord Ares, which would give us a couple modifiers. They seem kind of okay, but we don't have enough money to promote stuff directly. I think we can appoint a chronicler. Maybe we appoint this guy as our chronicler. And then this will give us, you know, just some amount of prestige. Will they start to help us chronicle? Here we can see. We're not promoting a legend. Start forming a legend from the legend seeds list below, or find an existing legend you want to promote. Promoting a legend will help it spread and grant you the benefits. Okay. I can fix her, we said, before we declared a holy war for Tripolitania, of course, nabbing Carthage, which we might move the capital to. I don't think it's going to be that necessary, but, you know, we do love a theminess on having Carthage. I think that probably the capital, the best place for a capital for us will be Mesopotamia. I think if we're in Mesopotamia, this will actually give us Diplo range to everything, and so I think long term, but I do think that this will be a really valuable, Tunis will be really valuable for us to have as a holding, and so we'll try and make sure that happens. They are probably not strong enough to really fight us here, and we have managed to recruit up a foothill. That way we don't even have to get people to come in. I think what we're going to do before we do this, because we're almost certainly going to have a ton of money after this, or a ton of income, is we're going to increase the size of our levies or our men-at-arms. Probably should have done this a little bit beforehand, but this way we can be a little bit more safe. I'm not sure we'll call anyone in. Kind of want to milk the prestige, but maybe we'll call someone in. We unlocked a new legacy. We're going to keep going with Infernal Eminence. It's been giving us really big bonus stats, and we will be receiving a memory about our past life as an angel during our duration in hell. We've forgotten all of this stuff, and then this will increase the maximum Arcana experience we can receive from cultists. I think we're right now, every tick, we're receiving like 900, and so maybe we're at cap, and so maybe this increases the cap, so we will become an Infernal Duke, spending 3,500 renown. Memories condemned to hell. The defeated rebellious angels, including yourself, were cast out of the abyssal prison. The terrifying construction broke most of its inmates into pathetic shadow of their former selves. This is where we forgot everything. Some still managed to find semblance of new normality and didn't let their divine torment get the better of them. However, even this had a cost. Far from their original purpose, their very essence, the beings once known as angels became twisted beyond recognition in hopes of finding a way to cope with being internally barred from heaven. In the end, you were the one of the lucky few who escaped, but you can still feel the pull of prison calling back to you, and the memories of the place are coming back as well. So, as far as the lore, at least from the books for the Demon the Fallen, is like, if you were an angel of healing, you became an angel of sickness during your time in prison. So, +3 intrigue and some lifestyle experience. Okay, so I think we'll just go with +3 learning. We prayed for forgiveness that never came. Although, doing stuff in there that we prefer forgetting about is maybe more on theme with Ares. I think generally learning is better. I mean, okay, we're gonna go with the learning here. We're just gonna go with the stats. We're gonna forego the RP a little bit. Man, we are super bad at intrigue. Maybe we should grab the intrigue. But the war for Carthage is going quite well, and we get Stairway to Hell. Demons are fueled by the faith directly provided by their thralls, or even indirectly. With faith, a demon becomes truly more powerful. Okay, so as your eminence grows over your domain and your humanity expands, so does your power. Do you want to use your flock's piety to empower yourself and resent? I think that we get this event, Stairway to Hell, every single time we use it, so we're just going to spend the max prestige here. The heavens will tremble, and that is going to be quite a bit of an upgrade for us, going from 50 prowess to 57. I'm not sure where we lost prowess, but we should be getting this. Oh no, disloyal champions. Not like this. But I think this war should be over when we, maybe with this, we still need to take more land, just a little bit more dirt, boys. Well, yeah, we can't even siege that, unfortunately. And so, we should have just gone for Tunis to begin with, because I think it's probably worth more war score. But this is it. Carthage is now ours. Wait, war being invalidated? Okay, we'll clean up this other war that we have over here as well. I think we might just stand them down and then re-raise them. Clean that up. So we are going to be starting our second attempt at stealing an item. This one is going to require a little bit of finesse. But another thing that I wanted to show off was we actually discovered that this place has a unique building that we can build. Not the Bastion, but in fact not that either, but in fact the Well of Sacrifice, which does seem to be a demonic-specific building, which gives us a number of knights +1 and knight effectiveness +10%. It's pretty good. And then, you know, at max level, knight effectiveness +30%, number of knights +3. This is really strong as a building because almost all of our power is coming from knights, or an enormous proportion of it. And so this, along with Tunis, is probably going to be kind of our new seat that we got going on. We're probably not as efficient as we could be redistributing the titles. We'll probably just seize them as we see fit. We have a couple given or assigned to relatives, which will be fine enough because somehow we're able to have kids even though we can't have kids, but going to be excited for getting the control up in these areas and then proceeding to construct. And of course the secondary spot is we can rebuild him. We can rebuild her. We can bring back Carthage. We can do it. Alright, so the infiltration is going to begin, and the thing we are going for is martial per level of devotion. It seemed like a decent enough text. It is, we'll show off the flavor text afterwards because we gotta grab it first, and we have ourselves a little bit of a test. So we have the Ares Company as well, which features also our daughter who we added to it, or sorry, our granddaughter. Overall, this is going to, we should be in pretty good shape here. And the challenges are not going to be too hard. We smooth talk our way in. I think we are probably going to do a prowess or any sort of martial thing is going to be much more our speed than intrigue. Intrigue we actually don't have a very good conspiracy members for. We have quite a bit of learning, so I think that this one will be the best one for us. So let's go in. Do we need the key? An opportunity to impress. Well, we could go diplomacy. Let's try the opportunity to impress. We hope we're not too boring. Alright. And then we need a key. Shoot. Oh my god, the key to the vault's all the way back there. We messed up. Let's just take the same route. And, well, we're gonna gain some stress, I think. Don't mind a little bit of stress. A little bit of stress is okay. And then we will head back out. I think we're gonna head around the smooth talkers. We do want to go home. We really want to go home. This is not ideal. Only a temporary setback. This guy's going to form a rivalry with us. We pay 0 to the devotee. We gain untrustworthy for 20 years. Yikes. Monthly prestige minus 25%. And gain wary of infiltrators. But, do we still get it? Oh no. We're going to get an unfair trial. Does he get to keep his item? He probably does, doesn't he? No! I hope this does not last. Imprisoned? Imprisoned? We should have taken that a little bit slower. You imprison the great god of war? He immediately starts torturing us. Not like this. So the last little attempt didn't go so well to kind of flesh out our items, but what we're going to do is we're going to find ourselves Christophe Romand, because he has a very good item. Now, he is currently... he's currently not doing too well. He's in torpor, which means he's a vampire who's asleep. He can't do anything, massive penalties, and they just wander around. As far as lore goes, in life, Christophe was born the second son of a minor noble in northwestern France and participated in Eastern Crusades as a member of the Order of the Sword Brethren. In 1194 CE, during the Battle of Moravian Hills, Christophe's courage helped to win the day, but he was wounded by an arrow. I hear he took it to the knee. His wound was great in the knee, and most of the sisters gave him up for dead, but he was nursed back to health. When he learned that Prague was plagued by hideous Slazak, us. After dark, he headed to the lair in the nearby Bond silver mines and slew them all, along with their mistress Ajav, the unliving. He was accosted in a back alley by one of Prague's local kindred, Ekaterina the Wise, a Promethean and leader of the Bruja. Impressed with his accomplishments, she embraced him, that i.e. made him a vampire, before the other clans had a chance. Brought to the Ekaterina's haven at Prague University, Christoph lamented his lost soul, but pledged himself to the Promethean cause. Now serving as Ekaterina's lieutenant, Christoph served her loyally, battling Cappadocians, Tremere, and finally founding his match against the powerful Siamese Methuselah Vukodlak. The battle ended with both of them entering torpor. In future canon, Christoph awakes in the modern era and takes his revenge on Vukodlak. He will then proceed to serve Ekaterina once more in her new adventures, including slaying Lucius alias Sejanus and the discovery of the Carthage's ruins. Okay, the main reason we are wakey eggs and baking him is because we want this, an illustrious weapon. It takes attribute of the Ankern sword with the destruction of the Methuselahs, single-handed victories over the ravenous lupines, and even the travel into realms of the dead, which we are wanting to do. We wanted to travel in the Spear Will. Either fanciful or true, this powerful sword was created by Durga Sin, a blueprint for an even more powerful weapon that will be needed in troubled times ahead. It was most famously used by this bad boy here during his rampage on Prague's vampires, clearly proving its effectiveness. And so I think there was something that said about its ability to... I think there was a thing that said about its ability to create or allow you to progress into the Shadow Realm, but even if there isn't, 15 prowess plus an additional 15 because we're level 5 on the Fame was plus 30 prowess, and if we get to that point, no one can stop us, not even our nemesis, Camilla. So, we will be doing a little bit of a hunt. Okay, so we have another Arcana perk. We're starting to really fill out this tree because we're gaining so much of the experience all the time. But I think that we're going to do the Command the Dead interaction, because it gives us the Bind Wraith interaction that allows you to bind a Wraith and issue further commands to them, and increases the max number by 1. This seems fine enough. And maybe we can find ourselves a little bit of a Wraith. I think that some of the characters appear really strong are Wraiths. Here, let's take a look at Wraith. Because now, in theory, we can bind these. Hades, King of the Underworld, Persephone, the First Risen. These seem like Wraiths we want to bind, right? Because they are our culture. Okay, so these are the Wraiths. And they certainly... Okay, yeah, we want to bind Hades. But what do we need to do? Hades is a courier or direct vassal. Hades is imprisoned by us. Hades does not have the Heart of Life perk. Can interact with materials of the material world when you are in the Shadow Realm. Okay, so he's in the Shadow Realm and he's not leaving because he's there. Persephone is also... Ooh, Persephone's maybe not there. Maybe we can pull a reverse. We can pull a switcheroo where instead of Hades kidnapping Persephone, we can kidnap Persephone. A little bit of a switcheroo there. So we will be building the Well of Sacrifice. Fun the whole family can enjoy, and I mean the whole family. The little flavor text here is, once thrown in the pit, they stop crying. That saddens you. This, of course, is referring to the child sacrifice that, was kind of a Carthage thing, kind of not a Carthage thing, but in the lore it's a Carthage thing. In the lore it was part of the kind of alliance between the Bruja and the Bali. And so, yeah, we'll build ourselves a nice little Well of Sacrifice. Eventually, we want to get it up to max level, plus 3 max knights. That's going to be so nice. Just wanted to kind of touch on how our knight situation is working right now. We have a very nice knights. We have Istvan, and then we have Skalok Kolumki. We summoned her back. She had left us. She was the giantess. We enjoyed her company, and then she abandoned us, which it goes like that sometimes. We put her as our bodyguard, which I think it makes it less likely for her to just leave. And then we have, a 40 a 38. This is our son. Somehow we got a son, even though we're not allowed to have kids. And this son is helping to propagate stuff, because the very next one is his daughter, and then the very next one is also going to be the other pack member. Now, these guys are werewolves and partial demons. They're lahams, so they get a huge health boost. I don't know exactly how long they'll live. Life expectancy plus 95, so I expect it to be quite long, but we are kind of passing down our progeny that way, and then just kind of cruising through. We see a lot in the kind of the 30s before eventually getting down to 19 being our lowest. So overall, pretty strong on the knight front. Not as strong as we could be if we were playing a vampire. It's a little bit easier to just blast and get a whole ton of really good vampires, I think. Maybe it's not, but overall, solid enough. And we ourselves have 68 now, which is pretty good as well. Alright, it's time to say wakey wakey, eggs and bakey to the one who is, kind of asleep. Christophe Ramond, remember, we want his weapon, and so we will say, hey, we want to get planning, we want to get going, and we're going to be heading there. Now, we're going to plan a route where we're going to visit a bunch of stuff on the way back, but this is where we're going to be heading. We have a heading. Okay, I have no recollection of how we got this court artifact exactly, but it is a unique one, famed book, the Book of Hidden Stars. At the height of Babylon's power, a cabal of sorcerer astrologers discovered a way to see hidden stars, and by doing so vastly increased the power and lifespan. They divided their work into 7 tablets that were later ransacked by King Cyrus of Persia. A court scholar managed to transcript, isn't that transcribe? Okay. The tablets into books before destroying them and fleeing Persia. The trail then goes on to Constantinople and finally Tunis, when some suspect the book still resides. Okay, I guess when we took Tunis, we maybe got this. This is an absolute banger, giving us +1 and basically everything, medium health boost. We're going to say yes, thank you. So overall, kind of pretty good in terms of our quest for our quest for items this episode. We didn't get the sword yet. We're hoping to get the sword before we maybe try for something special, so we kind of need regalia. I wasn't able to find really good armor, so I think we'll probably try and commission armor or something like this. I think we'll just do that now. Commission or choose artifact. I think we'll just ask for armor. Hire local artisan, and then we want reliable armor, dependable armor, good protection, flashy but dependable. Trust the judgment. Alright, sure. That should be fine enough. And then we will be able to proceed from there. But eventually, I'm hoping we can figure out some way to get the sword off this guy. He doesn't even have it equipped. He is, kind of located in our kingdom now. He is our champion. I think murdering him probably works, but we'd rather just take his item and not murder him. Once we get another personal scheme back, oh, it's blocked by my camera. Let's kind of maybe do this. Once we get a personal scheme back, I think that we will, not used to the CK where the camera should go, but once we get another personal scheme back, I think what we'll do is we will try and convince this guy to join our faith. Instead of being Promethean, he needs to be wrathful. And then once he's wrathful, then we can turn him into a thrall. So I think this will be the plan moving forward. But I think we're going to conclude this episode here. This episode, we've gone on a kind of various quests to get a bunch of items. One of those quests didn't go so well. One of them got us Camilla's Laurel Crown, and we are kind of setting up for what will be a bit of a showdown at some point with Camilla, where we have taken Carthage. We are starting to rebuild them. We said we could rebuild her. We're not rebuilding Carthage yet, but we are building a minor well of sacrifice, which will be fantastic. And I think we are going to recruit up some more troops. In particular, he is a little bit scary, not because of... It's because of this. This is what's scary. He has a ton of vampires in here that have really high prowess, and the fact that he has 16 knights is a little bit spooky. And so if we can up the knight numbers and get some better knights, then we will be in really good shape. And so hopefully we will be doing that next episode. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube algorithm thing, and other than that, have a good one.